Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Ally here. So today I'm going to be talking about 4 Middle Eastern fragrances that I recently added to my collection, and one honorary mention, something that I got off of TikTok shop that I wanted to talk about that I thought was worth talking about. And if that's something that you're into, then definitely stay tuned with a little bit of a rant at the end with my last fragrance that I want to talk about. So if you're not here for rants after I'm done reviewing that fragrance, feel free to leave, but just know there's a little bit of a rant. But yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Also, happy Thanksgiving for all of you today. I'm filming this on Thanksgiving. If you don't celebrate, just happy Thursday, or is it Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. Happy Thursday, everybody. I am getting up early today so I can make the turkey, and I wanted to film something before I ended up starting my day fully. So yeah, let's get into this video. Starting with my first one that I want to talk about, I have two fragrances that I'm going to talk about that are both inspired by the same thing. So both of these fragrances are inspired by a really popular fragrance from Ex Nihilo, and that fragrance is called Blue Talisman. And that's what we're going to get into. I'm going to tell you the differences between these two first. I'm going to review each separately and tell you the differences between both of them to let you know which one I think is the better option for you. Starting first with this one. This one is Turathi Electric by Afnan, I believe. Yes, by Afnan. It looks like this. You have notes of pear, pink grapefruit, mandarin, orange, bergamot, apple, cedarwood, orange blossom, and ambrox fix. You've got musk, amber, and vanilla. So this is a very it's a cool bottle. Like, just the shiftiness of it is really, really cool. I really enjoy it. Like, I think they did really good job with this one. The cap is heavy. The fragrance is pretty. Now, in the opening, you do get this really beautiful burst of pear and citrus. You definitely get that citrus. There's a big zing to it. It's very eye-catching. I do love these very pear-forward sort of fragrances. This DNA reminds me a lot of the Merit Retrospect fragrance. They don't smell the same, but they're both sort of like these molecular, like aromatic sort of pear-forward fragrances. And I find that DNA so classy, so chic, so beautiful. And this has that same sort of feel. Now, I did struggle a little bit with this one. Though it is a beautiful fragrance, and I feel like this would work for a lot of different skin types, you know, your pH chemistry, I do feel that this one on my skin turns a little screechy. It gets very synthetic. It gets very sharp and abrasive to the nose. The first time I wore this, I sprayed it on clothes, and I noticed on me personally, this doesn't smell good on clothes. Maybe it might smell good to you. For my nose personally, it didn't. It smelled like a department store. I know that's a weird description, but it smelled like a department store in the 90s to me. It was kind of like strange, like clean, almost like chemically, like floor cleanery, just very strange. And on skin, I definitely got that zingy, that pear, that beautiful sort of vibe that I could tell it was going for. But for some weird reason, this one doesn't play the best on my clothes, but it does play pretty well on my skin. This one in particular, the cedarwood and that sort of ambroxan sort of vibe is really sharp. I get a lot of the cedarwood, and it's almost like aroma chemically very like sharp and abrasive to my nose. The first time I wore it, I got a little sick because I wore this in the car, and I tend to get car sick really easily, so go figure. I probably shouldn't have worn it, but I went to go grocery shop and I wanted to spray it on, see how I felt, and that sharpness of the cedar with the ambroxan sort of feel and that musk made it kind of headache inducing for me, which is hard to do because fragrance doesn't really cause a lot of headaches for me. Longevity on this is great. It is softer projecting, but it also still projects, or at least I think you become anosmic to this type of DNA. It's very like Baccarat Rouge-esque. It doesn't smell like Baccarat Rouge, but the way that that fragrance is easy to become anosmic to, you're going to find the same deal with this one. But a very long-lasting fragrance. On clothes, I could still smell this hours later. Granted, it wasn't my favorite smell on clothes versus skin. On skin, it's very pretty, really light, very fresh, very clean, very sophisticated. Like I said, this DNA, this style of DNA is very, very beautiful, and I really do enjoy it. Now, the other one. This one is from Maison Oeirrar, And this one is called the Legacy. It looks like this. You've got bergamot, ginger, pear, orange blossom, jasmine, woody notes, amber, musk, and vanilla. And this is also a take on Blue Talisman by Ex Nihilo. And you guys, ooh, did you hear that ding? I love this bottle. I think it is so pretty, so simple. I hated it in pictures, but now that I have it like in person, it's actually really cute. I really like this blue and gold sort of feel. You guys, this one, bomb. bomb.com.org.edu.uk.everything, okay? This is a really good one. It smells very similar to this one, to the Turathi Electric, which it's still a good fragrance, but man, if I had to pick between the two, this is the one I'm picking all day, every day. This is like, it's night and day. Like, it's almost not even like a thing in my head on which one I would pick. I would pick Legacy, hands down. Now, I can't compare it to the actual Blue Talisman DNA because I don't know what that one smells like. But I will say this one is so smooth, so well-rounded. It also has that same sort of like woodiness that this one has, but this one never becomes sharp. It never becomes abrasive and never gives me a headache when I wear this one. This is just clean, it's smooth. The pear note in this is even brighter than the other one. In this one, it's so juicy, so vibrant, so much more alive. I get a little bit more of the florals. You definitely get that zinginess from the ginger in this, and this is just so pretty. This smells sophisticated. This smells classy. This smells elevated. This smells like, oh my gosh, just so beautiful. This smells so beautiful. This makes me want to try out Blue Talisman. Had I tried this one out first, and gone into like, oh, well, if I like this one, I'll consider getting Blue Talisman, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't have. I would have been like, I just stick to this because like, I'm not sure if I'm the biggest fan of this because there's a little bit of a working challenge I have to work through with this one, where this one, man, I can wear it day and night, every occasion, doesn't matter. Great signature, great staple. Everyone should have a fragrance like this in their collection. That's just an easy, crowd-pleasing, almost non-offensive fragrance that you could wear anywhere. Really, really beautiful. Very juicy, very fresh. I do think that this one leans a little bit more feminine, where this one I would say is unisex, leaning maybe a little more masculine because of the way it sort of interacts with skin, at least my skin. I would say this one maybe a little bit, although some guys would smell this DNA and be like, oh, juicy fruits, oh, clean and fresh, oh, like florals, feminine. You know, I think it's unisex, leaning a touch more masculine. This one is unisex, leaning more on the feminine side. So keep that in mind, although any guy could wear this. My boyfriend wore this and he was obsessed. He was like, damn, that shit good. That shit real good. And I was like, yeah, it is. You can't have it. You can't have, you know what, you can have this one, but this one's mine. Get this one for your boyfriend, get this one for yourself. Just saying. Both of them, great longevity, great performance. They create a great sillage little bubble. Definitely beautiful ones. It's just going to be a matter of preference, and you can order whichever one. I really don't give a poop. Do what you will. They are really great. But this one, in my opinion, is far superior if you want something that's going to be just really good, really juicy, really clean, really fresh, really just scrumdiddlyumptious, you guys. Go for this one. Legacy by Maison Oeirrar. They knocked it out of the park with that one, in my opinion. Also, I was going to talk about this one first, but I just jumped the gun. This is the fragrance I got off of TikTok Shop. I wanted to try them out. I'd been seeing their adverts everywhere, and this one in particular, it is from CN1 Fragrance, and this one is called Vanilla Harmony. I've been seeing so many people talk about this brand on TikTok. At this point, it's become like a plague on my feed on TikTok. You've got notes of vanilla orchid, jasmine, brown sugar, tonka bean, amber, musk, and patchouli. This is supposed to be a take on, or a clone of K'Ali Vanilla 28. And you guys, this is bomb. Bomb.com. I really love this. The longevity is there. The fragrance is there. It is a really strong dupe. I dare I say, I almost prefer this a little bit more over Vanilla 28, which that's a beautiful vanilla fragrance. I didn't try Vanilla 28 fully up until this year. I had been going like just sort of being, I don't need a basic vanilla. And it's good. It's really good. But you guys, this one, so Vanilla 28 has this sort of like boozy, sort of brown sugary vibe to it. So it's like a very great layering vanilla. But what makes it so unique is that this sort of boozy component and this sort of like brown sugary vibe and this sort of like muskiness create this almost like lipsticky accord, at least in my head with my nose. That's what it translates to, like this ultra sugary feminine lipstick. Almost, it almost reminds me of like MAC lipsticks, but obviously like better, like if you had like a boozy sugared vanilla version of a MAC lipstick, because they have that creamy sweetness to them. That's what Vanilla 28 sort of gives me. This is that, but like on steroids. Like this creates more of that effect, that sort of like that feel that sucks me in, because that sort of accord that they created where it almost gives me like a lipsticky sort of like feel is what sucks me into Vanilla 28. They like amped it up in this and it is good, you guys. Projection for days, longevity for days. Dare I say this is one of the best vanillas I have smelt in a minute, and it satiated that sort of appetite that I have for like Vanilla 28 to the point that I think I will just keep repurchasing this, because I was about to go get me a bottle of Vanilla 28, baby. It's just that good. It's still that girl. But if you're attracted to that sort of accord that it's almost creating, that almost like lipsticky, and there's not a lipsticky note, but those notes sort of create this lipsticky effect to my nose. If you were sucked into Vanilla 28 because of that, just know this has that, but it's very amped up. And if you love that addictiveness quality of it, this has that, but like on roids. Get you some if you want to be roided out this holiday season. I can't suggest this enough. I wish I would have gotten it in the 100 ml, but the 100 ml was out of stock, and I got this on a flash sale for a really good price on TikTok. And yeah, if you want to check this one out, go on TikTok. They constantly have lives all the time, especially like on the weekends and stuff. So you can snag a bottle for a really good deal. I cannot recommend this enough. I'm glad I fell for the hype and I went in and I got this one in particular because it is amazing. And I really, really, really love this one a lot. And I like that it has the notes right there too. It makes it easy to be like, oh, this is what it is. But yeah, and the packaging is really cute. Like at the bottom, like, I don't see if you see this like irregular sort of like, it almost looks like mountains. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cute. I really like that. I think that's really fun. Now, the next one that we're going to get into is one that's been on my list for a really long time, and I was terrified to buy this one. I don't know why, because now that I have it, wow, I should have gotten this a long time ago. And that is Casablanca by Swiss Arabian. This one is a really beautiful fragrance. You've got grape, you've got apple, you've got orris fruit, patchouli, balsam, tonka, amber, and musk. And you guys, I think this is supposed to be like a dupe of La Danza Duel. Don't quote me on that, but this is stunning. Now, this does remind me of a fragrance that I used to own back in the day, by Rasasi. It's called Oeirrar. Beautiful fragrance. It was very like caramely, sort of apple, like green apple and caramel sort of smelling, but like that one was very dense and very syrupy and very heavy, and it could be a little headache inducing for some because of how densely sweet it was. This is that, but almost a little lighter, but it still is a sweet, beautiful caramel apple sort of vibe, but a green apple. This is so phenomenal, you guys. This is sparkling. It is beautiful. The grape and the apple play really beautifully together to create this very fruity effect, but primarily I get that apple. Oh, and the orris gives it a sort of slightly powdery vibe without going full-blown powder territory. This is, oh my God, you guys, this is stunning. Now, I was scared to get this one because I was eyeballing this like way back when I first started getting Middle Eastern fragrances. And I had started with a few that were kind of a miss back in the day. And they were very sharp and very like abrasive to my nose. And then I would read like comments online when I was researching this fragrance of people just talking mad shit on it and being like, headache inducing, bad fragrance, like cheap, like all this horrible shit. And I was like, ooh, like, I'm gonna stay away from that. I learned my lesson. But I would think about this from time to time, and I finally decided to go ahead and buy it. And you guys, this did not disappoint. This is a beautiful gourmand fragrance year round, maybe a little much for like summer, like the dead of summer, unless you spray like one spray or two and then call it good, because this is very long lasting. This performs really beautifully. This is just so beautiful. It smells very clean. Like the vanilla in this reminds me of the vanilla in Angam by Latafa. That very addictive, sparkling, sort of angelic vanilla. If you like that sort of vanilla, you're really going to enjoy this because this borders similarities to that sort of DNA, but this is more gourmand, and then it has that apple note. They don't smell the same, but if you like that style of vanilla, you're going to enjoy this style of vanilla too, because they're like cousin vanillas. That sort of bright, airy, almost slightly sparkling, very addictive, angelic-like quality. Oh man, this smells so good. This reminds me of, those suckers that you get that are like the caramel with the green apple flavor? That's what this smells like, but a more elevated level. This smells the way those taste, but the caramel is a lot smoother, more sparkling, brighter, more effervescent. Really, really love this one. And if you love those pops, those little suckers, you're really going to enjoy this. I love those, especially around the holidays. Like, I am addicted to them. I keep a few in my pantry just for like when I get a little sweet tooth craving. I like to like nibble on those because they really do it for me. This does it for me too, you guys. I cannot recommend this one enough. 10 out of 10. Casablanca. Don't listen to the people that are talking smack on it, or listen to them. I really don't give a crap, but I do enjoy this one, if I'm honest. I really, really enjoy it. Now, the last one we're going to get into, and the most controversial of them all, the ever so controversial Vanilla Aura from Maison Oeirrar. If you guys know on TikTok, you know the huge controversies behind this fragrance, and we're going to get into that after I'm done talking about this fragrance, because I think there's a lot that has to be said about the controversy and what's going on with this fragrance. But let's get into the review. So you've got bergamot, you've got lemon, you've got lily of the valley, you've got caramel, chocolate, vanilla, amber, sandalwood, tonka bean, and more vanilla. Okay. So this is supposed to be a dupe of Vanilla Planifolia by Guerlain. Again, I don't have Vanilla Planifolia. I do have this one, the Vanilla Folia, that I got from Hekayat Tar. And these do have a lot of similarities that smell like they could be cousins or like flankers of each other. They share that same DNA, that sort of like spiced vanilla DNA. But this one was hard for me, you guys. Now, there are going to be a lot of people that really enjoy this. I wasn't necessarily one of those people. The opening of this is a mess of aroma chemicals that is sharp and astringent, and it gave me a headache, and it takes a lot for a fragrance to give me a headache. But I felt physically ill when I first wore this and sprayed it, and I almost didn't believe that it was doing this. Like, I gaslit myself into thinking, no, it's all in your head. But no, like, this legit made me a bit sick. Although I will say, when it dries down, and it takes a minute for it to dry down because it smells really synthetic, it smells plasticky, it smells odd. Once it dries down, it does mellow out, and it's an enjoyable wear. You get this sort of like citrusy, powdery, very powdery, sort of spiced vanilla. It almost smells like a spiced vanilla cake that has like lemon in it or something. It's nice. The longevity is there. It stays on skin. It lasts quite a while, but it is a softer projection, at least on me, but it does have great longevity. Would I prefer this over this one? Hell no. This smells synthetic-y. It smells plasticky, especially in the opening. It's a little bit sharp. It's abrasive. I've worn this a couple times, and each time I got kind of sick wearing it, which I don't like when a fragrance makes me sick or starts inducing a headache on me. This one, stunning right out the gate. Like I said, it shares the same DNA as this one, but this one's not a powdery concoction. This one's not a powdery concoction like this one is. This is ultra powdery and very citrusy, where this one smells more vanilla forward and you have that true vanilla spice sort of feel. I would pick this over this one all day, every day. This one lasts forever, and this is an extrait where this is an eau de parfum. Both are very long lasting, but the quality of this one, in my opinion, is far superior to this one. This one has never given me a headache, and I do not get this sort of synthetic vibe that I get in Vanilla Aura. Vanilla Aura comes off very synthetic. It's a little headache inducing. Does it dry down to something nice? Yes, it does. It does. It takes it a minute to get there, but it will. And if you can tough it out, it's beautiful. Now, every nose is different, and I totally understand that. And this is where we're going to get into the sort of rant of my video. If you don't want to stick around, bounce out now, fam, because I'm about to give some opinions and a little bit of dates about Miss Vanilla Aura here. I do have the sister fragrance coming, the Vanilla Seduction. I have no idea where it's at. It's been lost in transit for a minute. It was supposed to get here last week. I don't know when I'm going to see that bitch, but eventually she's going to show up at my door. So go figure. Now this one. There were content creators on, if you don't know about the drama, there were content creators on TikTok that were hyping this fragrance up really hard and claiming it was a 1-to-1 of Vanilla Folia, right? That's a very bold statement to say. 1-to-1, identical. No similarity, no differences, all similarities is what we're getting at. Which that brings into question like the ethics of like reviewing fragrances online, and like it brings up a lot of questions about like being paid to say things, and that's a whole other argument, right? So 1-to-1. People were pushing this to be a 1-to-1, and it almost felt very scripted what people were saying, because as soon as this came out and people were saying it was a 1-to-1, all of a sudden the same people that were praising this one 2 weeks ago were talking about how this one is a synthetic headache-inducing mess. Do you see what I'm getting at? Do you see what I'm putting down? And that this one is perfect. God's chosen one. The Almighty. The angel, the biblically accurate angel. And this was Judas, right? That's what it was kind of being painted as. I was so excited to get this, you guys. And to actually like get my nose on this and be like totally bamboozled by what people were saying online was shitty. This was a cash grab, in my opinion. A cash grab, and people are getting paid to talk good about this, in my opinion. Again, take it like a grain of salt. I'm using my discernment, what I'm gathering from what I have seen, because this has never pulled like a synthetic mess the way this has on my skin. People are glazing over that this isn't what they're painting it out to be, right? And that's where I have an issue with like the ethics of what's going on TikTok, because there's a lot of disingenuous people that are out here collecting a paycheck, in my opinion. Don't come for me, Betsy. Get your finger off the keyboard. I see you. Get your finger off the damn keyboard. Go wash your hands. Go meditate before you write something snarky and shitty. All right? This is my opinion. I think people are getting paid to discredit this one and hype this one up to get you to unnecessarily buy something you don't need. And with the way of the world right now, a lot of people are acting very compulsive. And one of the things that we like to do is impulsively buy things to sort of fix this hyperfixation that we have and get that sort of dopamine rush. And I think a lot of people are going to get this and be disappointed, but I think there are a lot of people that are going to love it equally. You know, like there will be people that love this. It's not a bad fragrance. But another thing I'm seeing is that when people describe it, they're describing all the great things about it and not talking about the not so great parts, which to me, that's when you give half truths. They're not lying. It is powdery, it is sweet, it is a vanilla spiced fragrance. So they're not lying to you, but they're also not being honest. Do you catch what I'm putting down? That's like me being like, oh man, it's sharp, it's powdered, but I'm not gonna say that part out loud. I'm just gonna tell you it has vanilla, it has powder, it is smooth, and da 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 da, and all those things, oops, reign true. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not being ethical by not telling you the full detail of this fragrance and being like, hey, it might cause a headache. Hey, it opens up very aroma chemically, very intense, kind of sharp for some people and some noses. Something to be aware of. You got to let the people know, in my opinion. That to me tells me that some people may be collecting a check. And then another thing that I saw, I'm not going to name names, but on TikTok, I saw a content creator talk about this fragrance and basically blame you, the viewer, for not liking the fragrance because fragrance is subjective and we all have our opinions and yada, yada, yada. And you know, it's not our fault that you didn't like it. Like, and which is true in a sense, but what's not right is that you guys are lying. And it's the same group of people, and I'm not going to name names, they're all together working for the same companies, backing the same things, going to the same brand parties that are all being very shady about the release of this. That's not okay. And that needs to be corrected, and people need to be genuine because they're losing that sort of, I don't know, you guys. I don't know. It's very upsetting. And the other day I saw Demi Rolling talk on TikTok. She popped up on my feed and I was watching a video and she was talking about her extreme burnout that she's going through right now and how the fragrance community has changed and that there's a lot of sliminess going on and a lot of not so great things going on in the community and that she's gotten to the point where she's thought about getting rid of her collection because it's that bad. That says a lot. You know what I'm saying? Demi Rolling said that, and she is, in my opinion, one of the best reviewers on TikTok, on YouTube. She's done a lot of amazing things in the community, introduced me personally to a lot of amazing fragrances. I even supported her and bought her fragrance from Fragrance Du Bois when it first came out. When she is telling you that there's not so great things happening in the community, you need to listen. To the point that she has thought about getting rid of her collection because she's almost too tired to continue on. Things are getting a little shady. And I'm seeing it, and I've been seeing it for myself for a while. My own discernment in seeing things and like analyzing, because I'm very analytical a lot of the time and sort of observe quietly and sort of watch things play out. But now it's to the point where like I needed to speak up. And I think a lot of people need to speak up too because it's not okay. You know what I'm saying? This isn't okay. This fragrance is causing a big controversy for a reason. And I think that this fragrance is exposing a lot of what's going on in the community right now. And it's making me less likely to trust a lot of reviewers, especially on TikTok, which makes me sad because I do love, you know, looking at people on TikTok. But I think a lot of people are just straight up liars on there. And I hate to say it, I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to name names. And if you get triggered by it, then all I'm going to ask is, does the shoe fit, bitch? Does the shoe fit? Because that's the only reason you're commenting, because it looks like it fits, Cinderella. All right? And if it fits, well, then do a deep dive within yourself, bitch. Don't come for me. Don't come for me. I'm just out here giving an opinion just like you. And if you don't like it, that's fine. Make a video. I don't give a shit. But don't come for me. I'm just a nobody. Reviewing fragrances and talking about my experience and yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. I don't need it, Yolanda. Get your finger off the damn keyboard. Stay in prison for what you did to Selena. I don't care. I just saw that documentary. It was pretty interesting. I have thoughts. But yeah, you guys, that's kind of my rant for this fragrance. I think there's a lot of stuff going on. I would say use your best judgment. You don't have to trust me. I mean, who am I? I mean, I just paid for all of these myself. It's not like I'm on somebody's payroll and stuff like that. If I like something, you know, I'm going to be honest with you. And there are things that I have not liked in the past or not been the biggest fan of, but I make sure to give you a full breakdown and to know my thoughts and be as honest as I can to help make you make the best decision. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to fragrance, I can't even talk. When it comes to getting a fragrance for you, because fragrance collecting isn't cheap. It is expensive. It does add up, and a lot of us are doing it for the dopamine rush. I'm guilty of that. And right now, with the way the world is, we don't need to be making unnecessary purchases. Did I need to make this purchase? No. Did I need to make this purchase? No. When it comes to like these two, this is the vanilla aura, and this is the, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I had to like go between the two, these two, no. These two, yes. You know, like it's that sort of vibe. And I just wish people would be a little bit more upfront and honest about these things. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this was informative and helpful so you can make the best decision for you. I hope you all enjoy the holiday season. I know I will be trying my best to enjoy it. And yeah, till next time, you guys. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye. Sorry it was